Good afternoon, everybody. I hope you are having a great day. My name is Marcus Brown. I am a business analyst with the Maricopa Small Business Development Center. And I'd like to welcome you to Put Your Business Idea in Motion. This is one of our best known classes for those who are looking to create a foundation for their business, or essentially trying to improve their business in one or a variety of different ways. Normally this class is very interactive, but due to the circumstance beyond our control, it's gonna be in terms of more of a lecture style class. Now, just be advised, if you do want the opportunity to participate in some fashion, one of my colleagues at Estrada will email the handouts that we normally provide during these classes. So if you're able to, you'll always watch this back later on for our website or other platform. Do a little pause in between there, and then we'll resume from there. It's a really great class, and I'm glad I have the opportunity to be leading it. Just so you know, any questions that are going to be had by any of you in the audience can definitely type into the chat area of the Zoom, and we'll be able to answer either during the session time, or at the best time is probably at the end. I'll try to account for a break around the 4 to 4:05 period. And yeah, if anything else, hopefully this is a great opportunity for you as you are considering starting your business, and an opportunity for you to create new income. But let's get started. So just so you know more about who we are as SBDC, Small Business Development Center is focused on serving small businesses throughout all different areas. We focus on the area of launching your business, growing your business, and essentially sustaining it through a variety of different sources. And the services that we offer as a result of it go in areas of funding assistance. If you're looking for ongoing assistance with either business loan or any forms of trying to put yourself in front of an investor, we can help with that. Business plans, and if you're trying to get yourself to the next level and just growing and having a formal document detailing that, that's part of our assistance area as well. We also help in review of financial statements like your business, like your balance sheet, your income statement, or your net cash flow, and ongoing strategies regarding how to improve your sales and revenue strategies and ongoing business operation. And if there's any needs in terms of your growth strategies or exit, we help in that area as well too. We also have specialized assistance in you want to export your business or send it abroad, either your service or your product, or if you're looking to do any types of specializations in technology commercialization, or perhaps in the area of manufacturing, we have specialists along the way to help you. One of the more traditional ways that we assist our clients is through counseling, where we meet with you one-on-one at a variety of different ways. Normally it's through one of the Maricopa community colleges on their site, but in the meantime, we're assisting our clients through virtual meetings such as Zoom, Google Hangout, and the telephone. So that's always a good option as well. This training is one of many different trainings that we offer to the general community, and it's no fee, along with our counseling and the research that we provide. So if there's a topic you have interest in, like say if you have a family member that has a business and has been hit by COVID-19 and is looking for assistance in that area, we can assist with that, or ongoing areas such as business projections, next level, or bookkeeping, we can definitely grow in there. And as I said before, we offer research for anyone who's trying to do a business plan or try to identify news sources and resources for their business through our services and partners with IBIS World and SBDC.net. We provide those free to our clients the first time. Our goal today is to focus on giving you or guiding you with tools and resources to help you make an informed decision about if starting a business is really right for you. I'm sure before this, people always mention how sexy and independent it feels, but it's the key questions you should be asking is first, is my idea a good idea to get into? All things considering, maybe it may not be right now, but somewhere down the line, you want to have to find some validation for it. Meaning, what will it take to start and build a profitable business? Knowing that you have to put more money into it than you might receive, are you ready for the challenge. And if that's a no, then it's a different story. But hopefully we can address these 3 questions today and see how it goes for you down the line. As I mentioned before, this class is normally very interactive with a series of different templates to help you along. Once this class is finished, we will actually be emailing the handouts to you, the attendee, so you can work on your own time. And you're responsible for completing them before you meet with your counselor. So if there's opportunity for you to learn more, you will when you do work with these templates that we provide you, along with the resources and a few short exercises that I'll walk you through for explanation, but not necessarily take a break to do so. So let's take an idea out thin air. Let's say you have an idea for a coffee house for entrepreneurs. The main thing you want to ask is, what are the next steps? So there are a variety of different ways you can proceed with starting or launching a coffee house. But most times people sometimes forget about the key fundamentals involved of doing so. You have to worry about the planning and if it's an idea that's valuable or makes sense. You gotta make sure that you are ready for the pre-launch preparation for the point. When you do have a date for launch, making sure it's properly advertised to the community so you can get solid attendance and sales in the beginning. And figuring out when you're gonna make profit or make money. I was gonna say break even, but that's even further down the line. In this case, we're just talking about the initial points. Today's focus is gonna be on just the planning process of it. The pre-launch preparation phase is something that we're gonna talk about more next week. One of my colleagues will be leading you into set your business up for success, which is almost considered a sequel to this particular class. And you'll learn more about that going into it. But if there's any assistance you want following this and you want to speak more directly to an SBDC analyst for counseling, then you're more than welcome to follow up with the information that we're providing at the end. So our planning areas for today, we're going to walk through this list based upon the necessary needs or just the foundation. Your first step will go on to the mission and goals, transition into the target customers or audience, products and services we are offering, making sure ideas has some validation to it, value proposition, making sure the market analysis on it is clear, and identifying financing or funds that can help support your business down the line. And from there, we'll decide, is this a no or a go? So we have our mission and goals. It's important to clarify and define your mission and goals, meaning it's important to figure out what your purpose is when it comes to doing this business. And the reason I say that is because some people have the idea that making money is the main factor for starting a business. While it's definitely a motivator, it should not be the sole reason why you are trying to start the business that you're trying to start. There are different layers, and there's different reasons for you being and for your business being. And it starts first with your personal mission and making sure you understand what really is important to you or what really matters in terms of your enjoying life, following induction, and shape your surroundings. And disregard that, folks. I was trying to tab a different thing, but officially it didn't work out very well. There we go. Your company mission, making sure you understand or build a brand and figure out who you want to serve and what products you're trying to serve. And then there we go, your social mission, realizing if you want to help the large community and figure out how you want to change the world for your business. So let's take this template that we have for our friends with Growth Wheel. If you ever receive counseling for SBDC, Growth Wheel will definitely be your best friend. So what is it? Company, well, remember, keep in mind, a company mission refers to the motivation behind the reason for a company and the foundation. Why we have it is it provides a meaning for the business and the customers and can help to provide focus and direction. So think about our coffee shop idea for entrepreneurs. Our coffee shop entrepreneur comes from a long line of restaurant owners. They want to carry on the tradition and bring innovative coffee recipes to share. So, but they need to figure out first what's going to drive their mission. Here, we see that the coffee, that our owner of this coffee shop idea for entrepreneurs has to go through each type of question and think clearly about what the answer is in this case. What problem are they trying to solve? Well, they're trying to solve the problem, or they're trying to offer a productive, friendly environment for working entrepreneurs. For customers in target group, who is the company solving the problem for? They mentioned they're trying to make this specifically for entrepreneurs who may or may not have a space to offer outside their own office space in their home. What technology is being involved? How is this problem being solved? And ultimately, it will offer space, the right environment, friendly and professional staff and service, and so on and so forth as your questions. Eventually, this will offer the opportunity to create a draft version of this. And the sample of how it looks here is offer a productive, friendly, professional workspace, to the customer, the entrepreneurs, provide an alternative for professional meetings to be efficient and effective, and know that the challenges of finding a meeting space are met for this business. So this is normally the part of the class where I would ask you to work on your template and fill this out for yourself. I'm just going to take a few seconds, and then I'm going to proceed forward, because as I said before, this will be available later on our different platforms. And I encourage you to walk back through this and use these few seconds, even up to a minute, 5 minutes, 10, to work on this activity, either with yourself or your fellow business. I see there's a hand raised. Let's see if I can try to find a way to address that through the chat. Okay, it looks like the questions are going to be moved to the Q&A portion of it, and there's no questions right now. As I said before, there may be some technical difficulties on my part, but if anyone has any questions, and if it's not sensitive right now, I would definitely recommend holding it to the end. That way I can address it a little bit better at that point. We're going to move forward on to the next session, or next part of this session, excuse me. There we go. So let's think about who the person is that you're going to sell. I mean, who are they really? Everyone, when it comes down to it, everybody can be your customer, but who essentially is the person you want to focus on? Or is there multiple segments that you want to spend time directing your marketing efforts or your services to? Using this worksheet for Growth Wheel, there are 4 key areas that you really want to pay attention to. The common exercise I used to do a lot at a different job, and I do here, is I say, picture the entrepreneur you want to sell to, or picture the person you want to sell to. What do they look like? What are they into? What do you know about them? How can you define them? And it sounds like, oh, do I have to profile? And in a way you do, because it helps you figure out your best ways of marketing towards them. In cases of them as their demographics, you're thinking about what their gender is, what their income, what their lifestyle is like, what their education, in terms of your purchasing pattern, in terms of your purchase behavior. You're thinking, how often are they going to go and visit you at your site? What do they prefer in terms of prices? How much are they willing to buy from you at a particular time? How sensitive are they to the raise in raw material prices to your business? You think in terms of your psychology and think, what interests them? What values them? Does your business support their values? Or does your business alienate their values? And then finally, where are they located? Are they in an area that can be reached by your business, or does it not make sense to go over to you? I reside in the East Valley, and I know if this coffee shop idea we have resided in West Valley, I probably would not go over there one bit, knowing that I have to deal with the strides of the traffic on a daily basis. Can you imagine? I mean, I'm sure my colleagues would, but not me. Now, let's put this an example for your business. Let's use our coffee shop idea. So SBDCs are thinking about reaching out to people between the age of 35 to 60, male and female, with a rough income around $75,000 plus, knowing that going to coffee shops is sometimes not mandatory, but it's a way of life that you engage in because you have a little more dollars. The people that come will probably want to visit maybe once or twice a week because they'll have occasional meetings that they want to take outside of their office. Look for quality coffee outside of what they bring into their houses and a cleaner, a better atmosphere. They're going to have the mentality of their business owner. Only they can get stuff done, working out of the home, so they're limited in resources, but they still want to create the effort of professionalism. And that's one of the reasons why they decided to come to the coffee shop. And finally, because I'm an East Valley person, I want it to be an area that reaches East Valley-based people. So this shop is planning to be near the Chandler Fashion Center Mall. So I believe anyone who's off the 202 probably want to benefit from this. Once again, we're going to continue moving on, but just note that this is one of those key areas where we would break in the action. If you have an assignment, work on this and take as much time as you need to fill it out. Keep it in mind of the 4 different areas that we're targeting: the demographics, the purchase behavior, the psychology, and the geography. Thank you. Seconds and then we'll resume. All right. Another worksheet from our friends at Growth Wheel. This area will give you the opportunity to figure out how to deal with people who have multiple segments. As we mentioned before, anybody can be your customer. Not everyone will be your customer, but what happens if you have multiple customers? With our coffee shop idea, it'd be unreasonable to assume that everyone falls underneath the category which I just described. There are some people that probably want to pay for coffee and don't fall into the income gap, or maybe purchase more often or less often than mentioned. So let's think about it in regards of different segments. As you see here, we broke it down in this particular box for example. We have the 4 that we outlined. Ours here based upon the income between that age bracket and their financial income. We have the purchase behavior and the psychology, as we're talking about here. If they're between 21 and 30, maybe the Gen Z age, they may want to go more often, maybe 3 or 4 times a week. Maybe they'll provide more or buy more orders for multiple people if they're doing almost a garage-based business. And maybe their focus is trying to invest more in the local small business owner. That's key for entrepreneur number 1. Entrepreneur number 2 is maybe they're here and they have a nonprofit that they want to start. So they may be buying only once a week, or maybe less than once a week. But they like encouraging small business movement and also being able to purchase locally speaking, especially if it's through local raw materials. They're another potential customer in this case. And then another option that we didn't quite consider is selling to a group. Our space could be used possibly for rental. If we set up properly, a small business owner and their partner or a local community group could rent some of our space for the opportunity to hold a meeting or a training such like this, so they can use it and we can make money off the rent. This is our 3rd activity where based on the handout, you would fill this out for your multiple customer segments. If you don't know multiple customer segments yet, my suggestion with you should be to first start creating a survey, doing some research, and figuring out who multiple people are that would be interested, or what are different components of a customer for you. Sometimes you may find one that's like the other ones, but try to find the differences. That'll really be helpful in terms of setting up things like your prices and stuff. As I said before, I'm just giving a little time. So once you go back and watch this video, you can fill out the template. Our next area is regarding the products and the services. You are able to sell one, both, several, but the question is, do your customer segments want the same products or services? And what services will you get permanent customer segments entering into your business? It won't all be the same, and it's important to realize that you need some to grab their attention early and some to grab their attention later on. So this is always my favorite graph because it's sometimes difficult to explain, but if you get the hang of it, you get to figure out which product or which stage your product should be premiered at. So think of it in this case, the small versions or the partial delivery of a core product are typically sold to first-time customers. So think of it in this case, if you have an introductory product, it's normally the sample version of what you hope that product will be. If I was to set up a coffee shop and set up a specialty drink and I'm not quite sure how it will go, or maybe a version of a coffee that I think people would really appreciate, that's perfect. It will be a good way to get people in. Some companies or consumer staple companies do this when they're trying to test out a new product and they're not quite sure what to get out of it. I remember when I was younger, there was a cereal called Wobble Crisp that wasn't quite sure if they're going to get enough attention from their audience members or their target audience. So they decide to send it out for the mail to anyone who's interested, and they get the opportunity to say yay or nay on it afterwards. That's kind of your opportunity of just doing a sample product and introducing it into the market and seeing if people really grab onto it. Our core services is what essentially people will be thinking of when they think about your business. For our coffee shop, they'll be thinking about, of course, a cup of coffee, some specialty juices, maybe some danishes, some fundamental things that define your businesses and services. It's what you're going to be recognized for, and most times if there's a referral to your business, it's what people are going to always kind of know yourself for. On to the add-ons. The add-ons are a little bit tricky. These are products and services which are supplement to the core product and add functionality to more value for money, and it covers special needs and preferences for some clients and create additional sales to satisfy customers. So they're the people, they're the part of the product that make the product better. Maybe like a value meal in the morning when you're waking up for breakfast and you want a cup of coffee, you want a full bagel or hash browns or some sort of add-on that would make your experience a little more special to you. Next, we're going to go on to the flagship products. These are, these are the most convenient, the most comprehensive and advanced or luxurious products and solutions that are sold to the best clients. It's developed exclusive world-class products and to develop package solutions. So this is something that's special for maybe those people in those customers that, let's say they become a regular. They have, maybe they pay to purchase a membership, maybe they have a membership card, or perhaps they offer some sort of specialty for being a part of it. I know a lot of airlines offer this in some terms, and some membership-based programs such as video streaming, like my Gym Planet Fitness offers this for anyone who wants the Black Card membership, but they are able to get the opportunity to go to any Planet Fitness in the world just using that card, in comparison to if you have the traditional membership where you just do $10, but you're only able to really go to one facility at a time. So there's different benefits to go with it. And then the package solutions is a variety of the different package products and packages together for maybe a better opportunity for you to enjoy all services at once. This worksheet here is essential for you kind of just developing that example for your business. Let's say we implement it with our coffee shop idea. As I mentioned before, if we have the desire to start off, our basic ideas would be a sample brew of the day or sample pastry of the day, something easy that will get everyone's attention when they first get this coffee shop. And then once we start getting more established, our core products such as the meeting space, different forms of coffee, different drinks, and even opportunity for promotional materials will probably be the core products that will catch everybody's attention. And we have variations here. Variations deal with any type of a product that exists, but it's changed a little bit to suit the needs of the customer. So if you're looking for meeting space, it can be as simple as open tables, if it's multiple people, or a single booth, it's just a few people, or maybe silence rooms in the back if you're looking for the opportunity to have isolated meeting space without having to hear the people coming in and making noise in the front. And then the same goes for a variation regarding the coffee shop idea, where there's core coffee as our core product, and there's just the basic version of it, black coffee with not much to add on to it, or maybe a cold brew and some additional additives that you can add on to it, and specialty formulas, or even your own form of delight, or maybe some sort of special tasting experience. We have our other drinks, which variations could be water or tea, or maybe even special energy drinks or special health drinks like Naked and other base name brand ones. And something we've been thinking about for our idea is promotional opportunities such as maybe coffee mugs and opportunities to promote yourself and even t-shirts. And then add-ons for our meeting spaces, monitors and paid Wi-Fi, catered food and drink stations to make sure your meetings are catered properly. As we come to the part where we would normally break, this area is dedicated to our products and services. When you go back, you will need to review this page and think essentially about the products you have available that you would like to be the core for your business, that you want to be kind of the flagship or the add-on for your products, and any ideas for packaged products. Take a break briefly on that. And we'll move on to the next slide. So this is the part of our presentation is we're slowly going through the middle of trying to figure out if this really a good idea. And this is a part where you really need to be honest with yourself and ask people that will give you an honest opinion, not necessarily the opinion you want to hear, because most times there are products out there that you would like to have, or services you would like to have, people will not like to pay for, or it doesn't make sense paying for. So here you're thinking about, okay, how do I know they're willing to pay for the service? Us here at SBDC, we really like this book, Talking to Humans, not just because it's free, but also because it offers you, the reader, in 80 pages, the opportunity to learn more about how to do your own surveys and engaging your customer or your potential customers. Here you can learn more about figuring out what customers are looking for in this type of field that you're offering, and just getting a sense of how you should try to direct yourself on there. It gives you a sense of more so due diligence to validate your idea before spending too much money to produce or sell your offering. In the past, I've had plenty of clients who have bought so much items for their business and they never really had a chance to ask someone who would give them demonstrate if they'd be willing to buy it or not. And you're hoping that reading this book, and you should reading this book, that it will help your idea move forward and not necessarily investing money into the wrong thing. So how do you know if it works? How do you really know that this is something people are going to go for? I'm not sure if any of you are familiar with the term scientific method, where you have a theory or a hypothesis, you test it, you come to the conclusion. But that's kind of the similar case here. You really want the opportunity to process your idea or your hypothesis, apply that to a customer, and see based on that if it really suits or serves the need that they have. And if not, then you try a way to update the idea, test it again, and keep updating it until you know it serves in the correct way. It should almost go in a cycle. And when you know the idea is good and ready to go, you write that down and you build off it. That happens a lot of times with this business too. We didn't know there was a coffee shop for entrepreneurs need until we asked around. And that's the best way of just figuring out if this is something that's valuable or not. In regards to your business, as I mentioned before, about how important it is for your mission statement to have both a personal, professional, and societal feel, it's important to make sure you're clear to your customers about what benefits they're going to receive when they participate with your business. This is sometimes referred to as a vision statement, but in this case, think of it as your value preposition statement, where you're understanding, where you kind of address the benefits that any customer will receive through the products and services that you're offering. Your first step is addressing for this customer. Now, we already took the time to discuss our customer segments in the earlier part of this presentation. So you would use this to say which customer segments you want to attract or you want to hit first. Your next part will focus on who has this problem or the potential need. We went back to that worksheet that we did with Growth Wheel, and we discussed what need your business was trying to solve. And we would implement that here as well. We offered this solution. So on the same worksheet where you address the problem, you're essentially also trying to go about answering what the answer is to this problem. How is your business trying to solve it? This is what makes our offering unique from our competition. Even if it's a new product that has been freshly patented or a new service, someone always has some sort of variation of the idea. And it's something that either the competition does in some capacity, the customer could do on their own, or you can do it, but you're convincing them that you're unique from your customer and from the competitor or someone else they're shopping with. And you're trying to help them feel that this is an idea that best works well with working with you. So let's apply this to our entrepreneur coffee shop. For the customers, keep in mind that the customers are fellow business owners who work from home but need to find an off-site location to meet customers, vendors, and employees to find the right environment to conduct business. We offer a coffee shop designed for business owners with the environment, amenities, and treats to hold productive and professional business meetings. And what makes us unique from the competition? Comfortable surroundings, unique meeting spaces for productive work, great coffee, and local fresh baked pastries. And just like that, you have a value proposition statement. Something you can put on your website, you can include your business plan, or you can communicate with any of your clients as you're going through the process. So when we have the opportunity to look at your handouts, I would suggest filling out this value proposition statement. A lot of the answers have already been addressed through the past worksheets, and so it shouldn't be as difficult as you think it is. But take the time to really think about what you're offering, how you're solving a problem, who you're solving it for, and the customer. We'll take a few seconds just for the transition. let's move on to the market analysis. This is actually very key to anything you do with your business, whether it's your business plan, identifying the best marketing strategy for yourself, or just essentially trying to find a way to grow. Us here as SBDC analysts spend a lot of time on this with our clients when we are doing business counseling sessions, just trying to figure out what they need to know regarding their competition and what you should know regarding your industry in general. This worksheet is what you should use when you're trying to do market research in terms of highlighting key areas on what your market information is and how what information you're looking for. Market research itself can be overwhelming, and hopefully this sheet is a way of helping you try to get through that process a little bit better. Some of these questions, though, we've already kind of hit on in some capacity. So we know about our potential customers because we've talked about our customer segments. We don't know our potential partners, but we can always explore those ideas together of possibly neighboring business owners or members of the Chamber of Commerce that we can work together with. We think more about our competitors and colleagues that maybe ones that we don't want to work with, but that may take the business away from us. Any role models involved, like experts or people that we know that wouldn't mind crafting our minds to be better business entrepreneurs. Any events that we can attend to improve our knowledge or our network could go a long way. Or literature or reading that can definitely help you out much better. And then customs and litigation politics, any awareness about what your business is involved with and is it going to be affected by any change in legislation or government or management or any trends. Like, for example, let's take our coffee shop idea. We already addressed the entrepreneurs. We didn't address the partners, though. Now, some partners that we can definitely take advantage of or be able to partner up with and do better for our business sake are local bakers and caterers that we might meet at local farmers market, or any people that have a local food truck that wants on a brick and mortar place to sell some of their products can definitely use it to their advantage here. And then organizations that serve entrepreneurs. If you're a nonprofit or you're a CDFC or CDFI, excuse me, and you offer services for entrepreneurs, definitely work together and try to making sure that we reach out to our similar target audiences or customer segments. As we talked about, co-working spaces and other coffee shops will definitely be a big comparison, including Starbucks and other existing ones down the line. Whenever WeWork comes in the mix, I'm sure they'll take some away from us. And literature such as common books for business owners can be showcased there. Maybe books by Rhonda Abrams could be very well featured, or even Inc. magazine. And just regards to business custom and culture, logistics and politics, while we know right now it may not make sense to do business in person because we're not allowed to, we can figure out ways to take that and figure out ways to sell that's different and that's accountable for those that currently exist in this situation. So curbside pickup, ghost kitchen, delivery, should we offer some format of this through the policy of the Stay-at-Home Act? Maybe we can, maybe through shared internet or online workspace or online shared Zoom account. And these are the tools that we have to work with to gather more information. Talking to our customers, Breakfast USA and Yelp, ongoing internet searches, and so on and so forth. Our market research should focus on making sure that we're hitting on these key points. What industry does your business operate? A lot of times we as business owners are unsure of things like our NEXT code or SIC code, but we should really have a better understanding about what type of offering we have for our business, or where do we fit in. For this business, we essentially probably fit into coffee shop or food and beverages, fast food. Even though we do have an aspect where we're going to offer open space or workspace, the coffee is really the reason you're coming to us. Describe what's happening in the industry, what are the opportunities, risks, and threats. So this more with the SWOT analysis. And when you look over industry analysis or market reports, you should see kind of the trends of what's doing well for our industry and what's doing poorly. So I mentioned the whole fact that this seminar is currently taking place online due to COVID-19. It was initially supposed to take place at Gateway Community College. So this has been a threat to us because we can't offer our business at a regular pace, and employees of ours are not able to do what they're normally doing. But the trend is now ghost kitchens and curbside assistance. People can still order our coffee and services online and do pickup. There may be some other opportunities to kind of transition our business into something else. And how are the coffee shops offering this or taking themselves away from the usual model? So you need to always think about that, especially in times of crisis, what your business can turn into. The market position, essentially where you're entering into the market. If you're a new business industry, maybe something tech related, you probably are getting in at a fairly new point, but you're not going to be the first person on the top. In cases like this, because we're entering in a very saturated coffee shop industry, we're going to see a lot of attention going away from us, and we're going to have to figure out ways to build up our attention to the local residents and business owners. Because keep in mind, not only do we have Starbucks to fight with, but we have our other competitors in mind, like Einstein Brothers, and other places locally in mind too. And essentially, thinking about the market size, it may take a while for many of us to really get thoroughly saturated into the market because of how many people that are currently existing in there. And also, has the market reached its peak yet? Is it on decline? Why are you entering in there? That should be the key for any of your questions. I see that we're close towards the end, but I want to just give us a brief 2 minutes that if anyone wants to go to the bathroom, that we can just break now. So let's give it 2 minutes and we'll resume on to the next slide. Come back. Thank you for that. It's always good to have opportunity to catch your breath during these sessions. And if there's anything you missed or have any questions afterwards, you're more than welcome to ask again. And thank you for bearing with SBDC. I know this is not the ideal way to learn this information, but I guarantee you through counseling and also the handouts, this definitely is a presentation that will be very essential for setting up the business foundation. So as we went through the marketing analysis beforehand, let's talk more about resources you can go to learn more about your marketing. Here you're going to see a resource that's not only very nifty, but free, but no fee. If you go to the website listed here, and I encourage any of you that want to take a screenshot right now for your computer and go or write this down. If you go there, you'll see a link to Reference USA. And the fun thing about this is this resource is no fee charged to all residents of Arizona. So in case you are looking for access to a resource, you can go here and do research on a particular industry or business, locally speaking, to get more information. And unfortunately, I don't want to take us too far away from it. What I normally always do with these trainings in person is I will look up business nearby in Starbucks, and you can always have the opportunity to learn so much vast information about the business, including their industry codes for NEX and also SIC. how much a particular branch is making in a year, who the owners are, how many staff members are, when they got set up, their average expenditure costs. It's really helpful tool, and it has pretty much every business that has some sort of record of existence here in the Valley, even through the Arizona Commerce Commission. And from there, you're good to go. As I mentioned earlier, we offer market research, no fee. And for those that are looking for doing business plans for a loan or just an idea about how to launch their business, you can look through a lot of these industry reports to get a better idea on what the direction of the industry you're entering into is going. Now, you can tell these are old because it says 2016, but at that time, assuming I started my business around then, some key statistics to note for the coffee industry or coffee shops was that it was making $39.6 million. It was seeing a growth of 4.5% between that demographic of 11 to 16, and for annual growth of 16 to 21-year-olds, 2.7%, and had a profit of 2.7 billion. So it's still seeing a lot more income coming in, but if you look at the number all the way over here, it has nearly 56,000 businesses that currently reside in there. You get to see the aspect of how the trends are, and the top two major players right now, or back then, but I guess if you're thinking about coffee, Starbucks and Dunkin' Donuts or Dunkin' brands will probably still be at the top of your list. And you'll see the pattern of how it looks in years end to date. I think the only thing here that's probably not the same is consumer spending for coffee. I don't know, a lot of people are deciding to go out and use coffee at the moment, so it doesn't quite make sense to start a coffee shop up in this current crisis climate. But afterwards, people are allowed to go outside. I think this is really the best place. Moving on to one of our last areas, our finance and funding. For your business, you definitely want to have a strong budget set for your first 18 months. I actually sometimes suggest to clients to go 3 years worth, with the assumption that in the beginning, your business is going to start slow. You're going to build the relationships, you're going to learn how to do marketing, but maybe year 2 or end of year 1, year 2, into year 3, you're starting to definitely start to pick up business. And around that time, unless you adjust anything major, you're going to definitely see a sturdy idea about what is the reliable projections for yourself. Refer back to your business sales and goals, refer back to your business sales goal and personal goals you set up in your mission statement part of the slides, or all the way back in the beginning. The critical step is to know that you project the potential startup or working capital needs and learning how it's validated here. As we mentioned before, is your business idea financially viable? With the reality of doing so as a new business owner, how much money you have to put into it. You don't just go to those lenders first. You have to essentially make sure you have a plan of figuring out how much money you need, how much money you can put into it, and how much debt will this put you in for asking. That's why we have a budget or an estimate of business funding needs. We think more about our first time or our one-time fixed goals. So with my coffee shop, if I want to purchase the building that I'm in, making sure that or rent the building I'm in, making sure definite improvements and remodeling is done properly, that the fixtures like the tables and the countertop set, the back room is set up properly, the equipment that I need to do the business, for anywhere from the cash register to the machines that are making the coffee, and any ovens that I'm using or tools to use to make foods, making sure the lease is set up properly with the landlord, or if I'm purchasing the property, any mortgage payments I need to make from month to month. and so on and so forth, as you're talking about all the items you know you're going to take care of in the first, all during the pre-launch phase. And then the monthly costs involved. As the owner, and I always suggest to clients, you should always make sure to set aside a budget for yourself so that way you can have a living wage and not worry so much that you're not making or not able to receive anything from the business. Any employee commissions, tips involved, month amounts, so that way you can be prepared for payroll. Any advertising or website hosting if this is an online business, and ongoing other supplies such as utilities when you're paying for any HVAC related thing, taxes involved with payroll and sales, your maintenance of your business that you have to take care of on a monthly basis, and any payments to any third-party professionals such as a lawyer, CPA, maybe an HR manager in the beginning, or if you even have a service to use to help you with hiring, that's something you have to keep track of. And you can use this information not just when you start, but this information here is best for your profit and loss or income statement section. The goal here would be to use this to fill in any gaps for your startup business and consider what other expenses you should know about when you're getting started, and you'll probably receive month to month all the way through to those 18 months where we're in this suggestion. These are common templates that you'll need to use when identifying your working capital needs. I mentioned before how essential it is to know your month-to-month amount. That month-to-month amount will be highlighted here on your profit and loss projection statement. And then the cash flow, just seeing how much money you have available in bank, in sales. You can also fill this out as well. This is available through SCORE, our sister program, but any counselor you work with can help you out with this as well too. You can also find this through a Google search, just saying SCORE templates, profit and loss statement, or cash flow statement. In any other situation, and when you pause this and go back through this again, you would actually be given the opportunity to fill this out for 5 minutes. I'm just going to take a few seconds now and we'll resume. And there you have it. We went through our entire planning list recap quicker than I wanted to, but if you listen to this back afterwards on our webpage and you go through activity one at a time, you'll see that each one kind of leads to the other one. And if you do all of them properly and bring this to your counselor afterward, they'll let you know that you're on your way to a hopefully successful pre-launch. But think about your business, that idea you had prior to coming here. Is this still an idea that's a good investment for you? Do you think this has opportunity to be profitable? And are you ready for the challenge? I mean, granted, we still are not sure how this will turn out, circumstances aside, but keeping in mind that if there is a demand, can you afford to keep this up? So let's go back to the big picture, how we close this out. Well, you just made a significant step towards the planning process of your business. Even though we really haven't had a chance to review the items together, working on these different handouts or learning about these will definitely be helpful for you to decide whether this is a go or no. Next step is the pre-launch phase. And I'd love to see how a lot of you are able to go from this direction. My suggestion would be, along with filling out these handouts after they're sent after this presentation, is to sign up for the Set Your Business Up for Success webinar being held next week. That will definitely help you with other forms such as permits, licensing, and other down deep questions that really isn't hit on too hard here, but it's very essential for that pre-launch phase. And then a launch and growth should be right around the corner for you. This is something you're going to see as a handout, but it was sent out by Arizona Corporation Commission a while ago, and it's off their website, and you can find it through a search. So if you want to know if your business is following the right steps, you should definitely take the time to go through this checklist. You see the steps that they suggest and places where they suggest to go, from choosing a name, purchasing a domain, figuring out your business ID in terms of tax or legalizations, and making sure your name is currently available for Arizona Corporation Commission, and then also securing that name. And there's more steps involved, but it's really, really helpful. And it's a good guide, especially if you want this business to be central or significant in the state of Arizona. I would strongly encourage you setting up a meeting with either an accountant or an attorney regarding the correct legal entity for your business in terms of taxation and legal purposes, because that one sometimes seems like it makes sense to be either LLC or sole proprietor, but that all is depending on some key facets of your business that maybe you've not thought of, but they can walk you through. As I said before, once you fill out all those handouts, I strongly suggest seeking a meeting with the SBDC analyst for counseling. You can sign up for counseling at maricopa-sbdc.com. Like I said, this is no fee, and we strongly encourage it. We are helping a lot of different of our regular clients, new clients, and also COVID-19 clients that are looking for assistance. And we're happy to help you too in terms of helping you establish yourself, or at least if you have a model or business plan that's needed, we'll be happy to assist you with that. And these are some next step checklists that we have for you in mind. Just making sure that you're following them first before you proceed with counseling. We always suggest to people to first fill out the handouts. That will make the meetings with any SBDC analyst a lot smoother, and being able to have that idea about where you can go next. With that, we got into the part of our presentation where it's the end. I'm going to open it up to Q&A part.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Donna McCown. I'm the operations coordinator for the Maricopa SBDC. And again, we want to thank you for taking the time to listen to our presentation. And as you know, this is not how we normally do this presentation. Yvette Estrada from our office will be sending out the slide deck along with all of the handouts so that you can get your information prepared before you go on your first appointment with a counselor. And as Marcus said, the way that is handled is through our website at maricopa-sbdc.com, and you click on the button that says request counseling and you fill out all of the information. We did have two questions from Sadia. The first one is on the second slide, you had mentioned a training portion. I would like to know the nature of training available for small business owners. And like we said, when we all go back to our brick and mortar buildings, we do offer a variety of training. We are going to continue to offer online training as well, but we offer training in regards to starting your business, setting up your business. We have tax experts that will come in and help. We also have how to go to get your package ready for SBA lenders. We have cybersecurity experts, we have technology. So we run the gamut of different training. If you go to our website, again, there's a training tab, and we don't have much on there for current training, but if you go back and look at past months, you can see what kind of training we have offered. And almost all of it is no fee. We do have a program that we call Profit Mastery that we hope to offer in the summer and the fall, which we do charge for, but that is basically for the materials that you receive, and that is a very intensive course. It's $495, and it's it's 4-hour days, I believe. I think it's 12 hours, 16 hours of training. So we offer a lot of training. And then the second question, Marcus, it says, is this 10-step checklist for start a business applicable for women-owned businesses as well?
Yes, it is. It's actually helpful for any type of business owners out there. It's not really focused to any type of owner. It's more about the steps you need to get yourself formally set up. And just to add on to Donna's point, and we do have a lot of trainings, if anyone out there in the audience is looking for another training like this and would like to go for the part 2 version, we are offering the sequel to this class next week at actually this very same time. That's to set your business up for success at 3 p.m. I know there's going to be different information for that, but if you're interested, you should go to the web page, register as well. And yeah, you're going to get more details on top of what we offered and also what the next steps are if you went through the process of deciding go or no for your business. More of the official pre-launch, if you will.
Correct. We are going to offer this class again. It's called Set Up Your Business for Success. I'm sorry, not this class again, the sequel to this class, but it will be the same format, webinar format that we have publicized on our website. We did get another question from Suman who says, is there any Arizona state or I'm assuming SBA funds available to cover initial costs for setting up a company? Also, if I want to file patents, is it expensive? Is there any funding for this?
There is financing out there for small businesses that are looking for financing and have never applied for a business loan. There's a variety of different facets. It all depends on your business, the model, and how much you're asking for. And then also depends more on your person, meaning your character, what your credit score is, your past business history. The SBA offers their own stream of loans. So if you're working with a counselor, and we also have a capital team involved here, and you want to be introduced to different lenders, we'd be happy to assist you on that, but only after the point of signing off for counseling. But yeah, there's a variety of different ones out there. It's just making sure that you're prepared beforehand to speak to them. That's the most important thing.
And then we have an additional question, which I don't believe we can answer, but it's how much cost will there be there for taxes, state or federal? And like I said, we have Tanya Lukin, who is a CPA, who is doing a payroll tax class at the end of May. But again, I mean, I'll let Marcus answer, but we can't really answer those types of specific questions.
I think Donna had the best answer for me is that the best people to speak to about this CPA, and the reason we forward it to them is we not only do we not want to be liable if we give you the wrong answer, but we want to make sure that you have the right answer to start off with. So we strongly suggest asking a CPA about this information. They're the best tools to speak to about this, and we're more welcome to refer them on to you. And I strongly suggest if you want to go and meet with Tom and Luke, and that would be great for you, as well as speaking to us about other referrals that we can gear you to.
Okay, thank you. And then as a last step, I am going to launch a poll that we would like to just get your feedback on this class and the information and basically your feedback, and just want to make sure that we can answer any additional questions. And we hope you'll join us for our class next week. So I have launched the poll, and if you could just go in and answer, we'd really appreciate that. Thank you.